while a 22-year-old Melanie Perkins nervously pitched her begin-up concept to a Silica Vale much-millionaire, she accompanied a Roman if partly dangerous tactics. The college fallout had delivered all the way of her household in Perth, Australia, to Palo Viola, California, for the meet in so-known technique depositor draft tie. Melanie had recite how if you requested to impression who you should imitate their flesh tongue. So searching supporting for her graphics style website, she solved to put the theoretical to the testing. It was cute fun, says Melanie, who is now 30. He was meeting down there in his arm over his armchair, consuming his dinner. So I'm down there in my arm over my armchair, hard to eat my dinner, time turning the pages of my tilt, to sail him on the next of publication. Melanie's concept for the next of publication is Canva, and on the internet played how urged to enable nobody to readily style all of greetings cards to posters, and websites to calendars. But Mr. Ty didn't appear to note how Melanie was copy his movements, he as well didn't seem to be how concerned in her industry concept. I didn't believe he was sympathy my tilt at all since he was on his telephone the entire period, she says. Mr. Ty was, yet, amazed quite to enter Melanie to a web of some Silica Vale investors, engineering personnel and developers. And he eventually nested in Canva oneself. The business has 10 millionth users through 179 countries, and 10 designs are created via its website each other. Not bad for a industry how had its origin in the hall of Melanie's mom's building in Perth. The was behind in 2006 while Melanie was a 19-year-old trade and communication undergraduate at the College of West Australia. At the period, she says she was disappointed by how length it took to find out how to use largest main-style software program. It could get an entire session to find out the really fundamentals, she says. Though the easiest tasks, love export a top-quality PDF folder, could get 22 clicks. Time largest of us would groan on the country of sphere, and later offer it no more than mind, Melanie spotty a industry prospect. She solved to try to start an on the internet style website how would be as lightweight as probable for human beings to utilize. I implemented how in the next style was all departure to be on the internet and joint, and lot simpler. Decisive to testing her industry concept in the comparatively little scope planet of high school yearbooks, she and her young man Chris Albrecht based Melting Books, a website how allows top schools to style their yearbooks on the internet. Efficaciously a prototyping release of which would be the Canva framework, she and Chris set up store in her mom's frontline chamber, and adopted cash of loved ones to pay for software program designers to construct the plate. Above the following few year, Melting grew in Australia's greatest yearbook editor, up expansion to France and New Zealand. The industry was so success how Melanie solved to keep college to attention on it complete time. Implementing how Melting could be attached for yearbooks, it was in 2010 how she flew to California to tilt the concept for Canva to capacity investors, consisting the fatal meet in Mr. Ty. Melanie says how Silica Vale was a big civilization upheaval, due to which she says is the extensive distinction among Australia and us behavior to personality promote. In Australia, human beings vary say downward their accomplishments, she says. In Silica Vale, wherever thou re hard to lift cash or get an mechanical engineering crew, you include to in fact be capable to say on yours accomplishments. Maybe in portion due to the culture collision, it took Melanie 3 years up she got any invest of Silica Vale. But in 2013 Canva was startup, supported by $3 meter, and in ex-Google execution Mr. Cameron Adams connecting Melanie and her young man Chris as a company founder. Melanie says it was cost the expect. It was 3 year among at first pitch to an depositor and in fact disembarkation invest, she says. The is an extremely length time of period, and we had hundreds of rejections on the path, yet I believe how trial was very useful for us, since it intended how we had to improve our tilt, and very get our policy downward up we begun. So while we mundane how invest we were capable to perform rather rapidly and efficaciously. Next rounds of invest include seen Canva lift $82 meter in full. Time. The website's main facility is complimentary to utilize. It makes its cash by charge a subscribe fee to accessing its more than progressive toolkit. Present, more than rather than 200 human beings job for Canva, that has staff in Sydney and Manila, and an office space in San Francisco. Melanie Remnant in the major head execution part, and Chris, who is yet her young man, is the head operational official. The pair as well yet own Melting Books, but include equipped a crew of Link to run How Industry. Danny L. Logue, and Connect Prof at Sydney's UTS Industry High School, says how the key question for Melanie, or the lug of any increasing begin-up business, is the significance of creature capable to participant. Possessing the law human beings in recruitment. The law human beings is key, since you can't include bottlenecks in judgment manufacturing, and possessing it all leftward up to the founding member to do these decisions, says Ms. Logue. Or how is a actual problem for founders occasionally, producing go of their infant. Melanie says how largest of Canva's increase has go of favorable planet of jaw, and she has big ambitions for the business to go on to extend. Ours purpose is to allow the entire planet to style, she says.